all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack Mr. Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape pop. Smoking weed and bamboo, sipping on private stock.
Alright, let me set the camera down right here and let's have a little chat. Now I know I'm not here filming me taking off lug nuts, but man, I absolutely love these quick jacks, and I know a lot of you guys have asked me about these quick jacks. I mean, you can get these at your local Costco. I saw them for like, I don't know, 1,100 bucks, but I don't have, my garage isn't high enough for a lift, so I have to resort to these quick jacks, which is good enough. It's saved me a lot of time over the, I don't know, 2 years since I've owned them, but definitely a good investment if you have a garage that is only about, I don't know, 12 feet high, which is too short for any kind of lift. But and one thing to note, if you guys are working on your own car, when you do get the lug nuts off and you're taking the tire off, just be careful not to scratch these sweet OEM calipers, because they will chip very easily. And if the dealership does it, I guarantee you, if they do chip these by taking the wheels and tires off, I guarantee you they will deny everything. Before we do anything, I got to get these spacers off. The caliper is going to have to come off, and the rotor is going to have to come off. One thing, always use anti-seize on the back of spacers. This makes everything a whole lot easier, so these don't get seized onto the hub, or the rotor, I mean. Okay, so now it's time to take off the caliper. I already took off the wheel spacer. There are just two 17mm bolts that are located on the interior part of the caliper. Super easy. Just make sure you torque them down to 88 foot-pounds. I just, routed off to 90 foot-pounds once you are done with the install. All right, so I'm just taking off the caliper bolts. It is a 19mm. Now we're just gonna take off the caliper and set it on the front lower control arm, hopefully without scratching them. There you go. Should be good. And now your rotor should come off. If it doesn't, you might have to give it a good old hammer with your BFH, or take two nuts that you could put in here, or two bolts that you could put in here to help drive the rotor off the hub. It's pretty heavy too. Okay, so now for me to explain to you why I took off my caliper and rotor. I didn't explain that to you in the beginning, sorry about that. But I am gonna upgrade these wheel studs, because for all you track and autocross guys who swap out wheels and tires often, you guys know that these tend to strip out and break very easily over time. I think on my old WRX, I think I broke like 3 on each side just from swapping out wheels and tires. No, I did not cross thread them. They just wear out over time. So they're not meant to be used for swapping out wheels and tires on a regular basis. So I've got better, stronger wheel studs that are behind me right now, and I'll show you exactly what I got. But to take these out, all you have to do is hammer these out. So I have an old crappy lug nut that I'm going to use. So all I got to do is put that on there. There you go. Grab you a nice BFH. This is the biggest one I got, so I can't find my other one, but this should do. So put that lug nut on there, and you're gonna hammer these out of there one by one. There goes one. Don't worry, hammering on your hub is not gonna damage your car in any way, shape, or form. I'm pretty sure your car goes through a lot higher forces than my hammer on a daily basis, so don't worry about that. Okay, so with that said, I am upgrading to these ARP wheel studs, a lot stronger than the stock studs. These are the 2.5 inch, I think. Yeah, I'll put a link in the description below of these actual studs if you guys are interested in upgrading yours. Like I said, they're a lot stronger than the stock ones, and yeah, they'll be able to handle regular wheel changes. All right, I'm gonna stick that right in there. And I got a little fancy tool for you. All right, so what I have here is a wheel stud installer tool. You can get this on Amazon or I think at your local AutoZone. You really don't need this. All you need is a bunch of washers and your old lug nut, and you can just drive it home that way. But this just has a bearing on the back, which ensures that you get the lug nut in there nice and centered and straight. And then you just put your little adapter on there, an old lug nut, and just drive it home. There you go. We're all done. Now it's time to put everything back together. So I mentioned in an earlier video that I was having a little rubbing issue. As you can see, it's right here and a little bit of rub right here. And some of you guys have mentioned rolling my fenders. Well, rolling the fenders is not going to help that at all. Sweet. So I kind of messed up. I have to change out the front fender well lining because I forgot to put on the front two clips, and as I was driving down the highway, the front of the fender liner kind of drooped down from, I guess, all the wind, and it kind of messed up the front of it. So got a brand new fender liner in here, and I'm just gonna swap that out. You guys don't need to see all that stuff, it's just a fender liner. This front piece is where mine got messed up. So time to put the new fender liner in. Hopefully it's the right part. And look at that, everything's nice and clean. Look at that, brand new. And there you go, all done. You know, it's kind of satisfying when everything just fits correctly the first time. All right, so there it is. ARP wheel studs have been fully installed. I've had them on for a couple weeks now, no issues whatsoever. Now, these are especially useful for the types that change out their wheels and tires often. Let's say you go to track and autocross and you change out your wheels and tires. You do not want to break a stud. You break a stud on track, next thing you know, you won't pass tech inspection because that would royally suck. Another reason why you want to run extended studs, let's say you run, let's say these wheel spacers, which do not have the built-in studs. The stock studs are not going to be long enough for these 5 or 10 millimeter spacers that don't have studs built into them. Oh, also keep in mind that if you do run extended studs, that you're also going to need some open-ended lug nuts also. So this might also help out, might be a requirement at your local track and autocross to run open-ended lug nuts. So that helps you out in that case. Anyways, no issues whatsoever. You guys are interested in these extended studs, I have a link in the description below. It's an Amazon link. It only helps out the channel. I get a small commission if you purchase using that link. But anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. More to come, and we'll talk to you guys later. Peace out, guys. Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine, Salt and Pepper and Heavy D up in the limousine, hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rap attack, Mr. Magic Molly Mall.